Click that. Give it a second. I'm sure Instagram will be prompting me to
yes.
say the countdowns down, maybe.
Oh, yeah, mine did.
Mine did not. I don't know why. How weird. Hi, everyone. Well, there's no one here yet, so we'll just say hi for the replay. Hello. Oh, there are people here. Awesome. Okay. Oh. Comments. Okay.
I'm posting on
Hello,
Instagram.
everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are mostly just hanging out and chatting.
Yes, this was our excuse to hang out and chat.
All right.
Hello.
Good morning, good evening.
Wherever you may be.
Yes. Very exciting. Considering that I set up that countdown yesterday, it really doesn't want to tell me.
I know, usually it prompts you to post it. It's weird.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can actually share it.
Yeah, I'm looking for the grabbing.
No.
I am painting
How
my
is everyone?
Today. Yeah. This color.
She's doing them a beautiful color.
I'm like going for the spring colors.
Very nice. I like those bright colors. I used to always paint my nails purple, like, all the time. Morning, Nicole. Hello, Tracy.
Hi.
Yay. All right. I'm just going to finish posting this because Instagram doesn't want to make my life easy.
Yes, I'm currently posting it too. I meant to look at the questions that we're going to do, like, so I could actually have answers. So, and I didn't. So, we'll see.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I started looking at them last night, and I got some answers, and look, I was thinking of them mostly with stuff that I'd read this year, except for some things that are more long term. So, yes.
Story of my life for my last recent reads, because I was just, here's the thing, is sometimes I'll pick things, I don't like to know anything about a book that I read. I like to know very, very little. So if I just hear that a friend likes it, or if I like the cover or something, for example, sometimes I'll just browse on Libby and see what's available. So that happened to me because I was like adding things to my queue for Libby. And I was just like kind of looking at the cover for it and wasn't reading the synopsis. And then I read like 3 books that all had the fame trope, and it is not my favorite thing. I think one of them had like surprise baby or secret baby. And I was like, what is happening?
But who even am I? Why am I reading these things?
Right. Why do I do this to myself?
Yeah. Hello. Hey, Tori. Good morning, good afternoon, evening, etc., etc. We were just saying it looks more like daytime where Bree is, and more like nighttime where I am, but it's actually the reverse because it's very wet and grey here today. So I've got lights on in most places. Anyway, because Bree and I were catching up, and I sent her this. It's like a 30-question bookish Q&A. I don't know if we'll get through all the questions, but we might be able to try. So we will, like, I'll share them, and we'll share our answers, and we'd love to hear your answers as well.
Yes.
See, you're a good person, Tracy. I don't read synopsises anymore, unless I've heard something that's made me go, hang on, do I want to read this? Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, I feel like a lot of times I found with a lot of books, it gives away too much. Like things that surprised me while I'm reading it, I realize is on the synopsis later. Because sometimes I'll read the synopsis after I've read it if I'm trying to like refresh my memory when I'm talking about a book a couple of weeks later. And I'm like, holy crap, this was in the synopsis? That would have ruined the book for me.
Yeah. There's a couple of series that I read that I'll skim the synopsis just because I know towards the end it'll let me know either the main tropes or content or trigger warnings. So I'll go through and I'll skim those, just particularly because when I'm reading, I have my little notebook that I make all my notes in. I put them down at the start, but otherwise I don't tend to read the whole thing.
Well, and like sometimes someone will talk about a book and they'll like say exactly what it's about. And at the time I'll put it on my like want to read list. And then I won't read it for months later. I'm like, well, I added it to this list. I know I want to read it, so I don't need to know what the synopsis is.
Yeah.
So I'll have forgotten by the time I get to it.
That too. All right. Should we get started with the questions?
Let's do it.
I have them here.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 1 was your current read, if you have one, or if you know what your next current read.
So I am currently marathoning, because I read Sophie Lark for the first time during the Dark Romance Readathon. So I am currently marathoning her, what is it called? Brutal Birthright series. I am on book 3, which is Savage Lover right now. And like you guys, I say this in my recent reads all the time, but I never marathon books, but I've been marathoning books lately, like series lately. So I feel like I'm right now.
Yeah, I'm totally the same. So I will probably be picking up, I just happen to have it here, The Galaxy in the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. Oh, I had these little taglines. I could put them up. I know, very fancy. So this is the last book in her Wayfarer series. So it's a sci-fi. If I feel like reading that today, I will. Otherwise, I may go straight into marathoning the new Camelot series by Sierra Simone.
Ooh, you haven't read it before?
No, I have read it before. I'm trying to do a reread so I can annotate it. So it is a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I think I think Tori just recently read that series. I think she ended up marathoning.
Yeah. I think the first time I read it, I read the first book and then I didn't pick up the rest. It was maybe a month later, but then I read the second 2 back to back. I think because it's a trilogy, I think it's worth reading those ones as close together as possible.
I'm going to be honest. I really liked the first book. I love the first book. In fact, it's one of my all-time favorites. I didn't love the second and third book. I was a little disappointed.
And I think the last book from memory was a little long, but I do really enjoy it.
I love the characters.
I think it's one of the. Oh yeah, I love the characters.
I think I was a little let down by Embry's book because I loved Embry so much. Like he was my everything, and then I was a little bit let down by his book.
Yeah,
I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, so feel free to let us know what you're currently reading as well, guys, in the chat, because we'll can have a chat about those. But the next one was your last book read.
So obviously book 2 in the series that I'm currently reading, which is that one was a Beauty and the Beast kind of like retelling a little bit, and it was so freaking good. It was so good. Normally I don't like a naive heroine, and she's not a naive heroine. She was innocent, but she wasn't naive, which is why I liked her. But oh my gosh, such a great like play on Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. I think, I was saying to Bree before, I think you might have convinced me to go and have a look at them. There was I was convinced there was something that was stopping me from picking them up, and I can't remember what it was now. So I might have to maybe try the first one, which we all know what's going to happen.
Yes, exactly. You're going to end up wanting to read them all.
I'm going to binge read all of them. So the last book that I read was the last book that I was reading for the Dark Romance Readathon, which was The Woman with the Scar by Jessica Gaziella, which I'm very behind in reviewing a couple of books for her. So I was glad to pick that one up. That one is a Mafia one.
Okay.
And it's the 3rd book in the Costa family series, I think. So it follows one of the enforcers, and it's very much a morality chain because he is very happy to do all the dirty work for the family. And then he comes across this woman who sort of is the wife of another small-time family who work for the Costa family, but he realizes that she is being abused by her husband, and he is determined to make sure that stops happening.
That's what I'm realizing I'm really liking about Mafia romance, because now that I'm really getting into it, I like the morally gray heroes.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
And you get that a lot.
All right. All the frock up and peer pressure. Excellent.
Ooh.
Good choice.
So good.
Good choice.
For those are
like, oh, I married him.
I'm painting my nails in case you're wondering why I'm looking down. It's because I'm painting my nails right now. I'm not being rude.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
It's great. I Married a Minotaur was great. Good choice.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah. Embry's book was probably the most disappointing, but I think and I think it's because I loved him so much as a character. And and you just want those characters to have the best books.
Yes. It's hard sometimes for them to live up to it. I feel like I need to do a video talking about the books that like lived up to the hype of, or like the characters who lived up to their books, or vice versa. Because I feel like that doesn't happen often, but the most recent one I think was the Chloe Lease book, because I had been looking forward to Axel's book for so long. Is like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard to live up to like what I have in my head for this, and it totally did, and beyond.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone's reading Run, Posey, Run. I love Run.
Yeah. So, I read Woman in the Trunk last night as well, because I'd read book 2 in this Mafia series, and I hadn't read book 1 or book 3. So I'm like, okay. I went back and did both of them. Oh, how rude, Heather. That's okay. We're talking about current and last reads. Run, Posey, Run is great.
So good.
I have read Dark Mafia Prince, I'm pretty sure.
I need to read that one. That's on my list.
Okay.
Thanks, Heather.
All right. So what's our next topic? Oh, top of your TBR. What's the next thing that you're really excited to read?
I feel like my answer is going to be the same for all of these.
Sophie Lark?
Yes, because I'm marathoning it. So, yeah, that's probably...
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how this book goes, if this book lets me down, then I might not jump right into the next one. Although I thought the book that I thought this was like, or the characters I thought this book was going to be about, because I'm on book 3 of the Brutal whatever series. I thought it was going to be about a different couple, and it wasn't. So I think even if this book lets me down and the next book is about them, then I'll keep reading till I get to their book, because I'm invested.
There you go. You've got a partner in crime in Heather.
I need to, I have the first book in that duet, They're All No Saints, but I started reading it and then I put it down for some reason. So that'll be my next one after. Why are you intimidated by Sophie Lark?
See, she's probably like me.
I know. Wait. Is it book edging? Is that why? Like you're putting it off because you know you're going to love it?
Maybe it's my thing where I'm terrified that all those really popular books, I'm going to be the person who goes, I don't get it.
I know there is that.
But like I said, I'm pretty sure there was a reason why I thought that. And
because you thought it was Gianna Darling's Welcome to the
possibly.
Was that one? They're all almost all of them are age gaps and teacher student.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like I was kind of about that. Oh, I'm so great. I'm so glad that book 4 is your favorite. Who is it? No, don't tell me who it's about. Don't tell me who it's about. I don't want to know. I'm gonna go in blind.
Yeah.
It's my first.
We'll have to read it shy. We'll read it, Cheyenne, and then that way we can talk about it.
I need you to vlog it when you read it. I would love to see, because I feel like you're gonna like it. I feel like
I probably will. It's going to be one of those, like I said, it's going to be one of those series I start and then I don't stop until I've read all of the books, which is basically what I've done with Onley James. So I will sort it out. Okay, what did we have? So top of my TBR. What do I have? I read the first book in a duet for the readathon, I read Corrado by Bethany Chris. So I've got to read the second one because we don't get the end of the story and I need to know what's going on. So I need to finish that.
I don't get the end of the story. Oh, because it's a duet?
So it's a duet. And I think it ends up being an MMF story. But so far we only have, it's kind of a mafia story, but it's the son of the head of a mafia who ends up in a relationship when he goes to a modern day assassin training school and has a relationship with one of the guys there. And then it jumps, I think, 7 or 8 years. And like their relationship is not particularly healthy the way that it's going. So I kind of just want to figure out what's going on and finish that off. And maybe and then on a completely different change of pace, The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa, which I still have not read yet.
Oh, yeah. Is that one part of the series, or is it a standalone?
I don't know. I think it might be a series, but I think you can probably read them on their own. Mm-hmm. I did love The Worst Best Man. Like that was a fun one.
Okay. Yeah, I liked that one too. That one made me hungry. They talked about food a lot in that one, and I was like, this all sounds delicious.
Yeah. Tori, I really enjoyed Corrado. I had no idea what it was about when I went into it, and then I got sucked in. And the first book is told in 2 parts. So the first part is Corrado and Alessio when they're 17, and then it jumps to when they're adults. And at the end of the book, I was like, I need to read the second book, but I didn't own it. And my deal with the Dark Romance Readathon, I was telling Bree earlier, was I was only allowed to read things that I actually already had on my Kindle. So it was all the dark romances that I already had. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't allowed to just pick up something else. That was me trying to be good and read what I already had.
That's smart.
Yeah. Oh, Rebecca Yarros.
I think Paige came.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to The Wedding Crasher. It's been sitting on my Kindle since it came out because I pre-ordered it. Low conflict shifter romance. You'll have to let me know how that goes. Yes, actually, this is something I will probably drop everything and read The Heir Apparent's Rejected Mate on well, probably Saturday for me. That's Kate C. Wells.
Is that part of that series, that Kate C. Wells? Is that part of a series?
I think so. Mm-hmm. The first one is really good.
I think it's on my Kindle as we speak, and I just haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, well worth reading.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. I didn't realize because I hadn't really heard people talk about it. I must have missed you talking about them at some point, Tori.
I haven't.
Anyway, I was really excited to read it.
I need to read.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. All right, favorite book series is our next topic.
I'm going to be really basic and say that it's the A Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Fair enough.
I don't know that anything will knock that off top tier for me.
Yeah. Well, after last week, it is 100% the Green Creek series by TJ Klune.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited for those special editions.
Oh, I cannot wait. Like, I will have my editions, and then I will have the special. Like, there's not many books now that I want to go in and have special editions of, but I will be pre-ordering all of those. And actually, it was exciting because he talked about The Bones Beneath My Skin as well, which is a sci-fi one that I really like. He's one of his sci-fi series that I love, because that was a great one.
I haven't finished that series yet. I loved the first book, and then I just I think, you know why? It's because I think it's so intimidating because they're so long.
Yeah. Best thing is just carve out a slice of time and have your tissues and just read them, because book 3 is my favorite. Like, I've waxed lyrical about this in 2 videos in the last week, so I won't.
Have you listened to the audiobooks for them? The audiobook for the first one was really good. I liked the narrator for it, but I'm wondering if
actually, hang on, did I do the audiobooks? I can't remember. Oh no, I did the audiobook for Wolf Song. I didn't do it for the rest of the series, just because I'm a slightly faster reader than the audiobook, and I was trying to get them back to back. But no, I will next time, because I like the audio for Wolf Song. So the Queen's Thief series. How do you pick one series? Look, I thought it would be harder, but what I came to the realization with last week, Tori, was there is one series where I would, without question, pick up any book in the series. All of the books were 5 stars for me or higher, and just the way that I think about it, like, that's how I worked it out. And I didn't realize until I'd reread the series that that's what it was for me. So I don't think you have to have a favorite series. You can have multiple favorite series. I just worked out that I could probably narrow it down to one, because prior to that I probably would have said Side Changeling, but there's books in that series that that I wouldn't pick up unless I was doing a full reread. Some of my favorite books are in that series, but as overall, there are books that I can take or leave. So that's how I.
What if we broke it down by what's your favorite contemporary romance series? What's your favorite romance or fantasy?
Absolutely. Romance? Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
I'm trying to think of if I have a favorite contemporary. See, because I have newer favorite contemporary romance series or contemporary romance series that aren't all out yet that I really love. But then I have favorites that I have reread over and over and over again. Like the Pucked series by Helena Hunting is one I've read so many times. And that's a original favorite.
Yeah. So
that's a series I think
the Monstrous series. The Monstrous series is really good by Lily Mayne. That's a good monster series. I'm steering clear of that one, Heather. I know that I probably won't enjoy that one. Not because that's not a good series, just because it has things in it that I don't particularly like to read. Christina C. Jones. She's great. I'm also really loving the Necessary Evil series by Only James. So that's a dark romance, romantic suspense series.
I'm trying to think if I read it this time by Christina C. Jones. I'm making my way through her backlist, but I can't remember if I read that one.
I think one of the questions later on is, something that you need to catch up on, and Christina C. Jones is my answer.
She's got such a huge backlist.
Yeah. All right. What about an unexpected favorite book?
Oh, I don't know. I have to pull up my good.
That's okay. Well, I can answer this because this one I just sort of went through things that I've already read this year. And for me, that was Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon, I think.
I remember you talking about this one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought I would enjoy it, but I didn't expect to enjoy it as much. It's a very, I don't know if this is the right word to use for it, but a very mature contemporary romance in that it just feels very well thought out. Mm-hmm. And so it's an office romance, but the two characters sort of end up falling for each other because they're trying to rekindle the romance between their two bosses who have a very toxic relationship in the workplace. So each of them have one of them as a boss, and they just can't stand what's happening. So they try and parent trap them, basically.
Wasn't there a Netflix movie that had that premise? I can't remember.
Oh, possibly.
I think it had, what is her name? I can't remember who was in it, but it sounds like a Netflix movie that I watched.
Yeah. The Hookup is great.
So I read it because it's so funny. That's the book that I read because of you and you read because of Heather.
Yeah. Yeah. Charm Offensive. I have heard that.
That was good. I like the Charm Offensive.
Yeah.
I think what was an unexpected favorite? I'm looking through my read books because these type of questions come up and then I immediately forget all of the books I've ever read in my life.
Same. Same.
I'm going to say the Small Town Romance series by Tasha Harrison because I picked that up completely on a whim. I'd not heard anything about it, and I picked it up and I fell in love with it, and I just marathoned all three of those books, and I can't stop thinking about them, and I absolutely love those. So that was definitely unexpected. I love when that happens, like when you pick up a book that just by the cover or whatever, and you're just, I'll try this out, and just like, oh my God, this is the best. Like I always think to myself, like, where would I be in my life if I hadn't picked this book up? What if I decided not to pick it up? Then what?
Yeah, I think I downloaded maybe the first book or the first two books in that series because of you. But I have read Tasha L. Harrison before, so I was like,
what have you read?
Probably enjoy this.
Because those are the only.
Oh my God! What?
I have to look and see what else she.
Am I thinking of the right person? Hang on, let me bring up my Goodreads now because I'm never going to remember this.
Listen, when you read as many books as we do, we're allowed to forget things.
Yeah, this is why we have lists of things.
Exactly. Honestly, like Goodreads saves the day for me for many, many things.
Let's see.
Oh, you know what else was in?
I've read If She Says Yes. That's what I've read.
Okay, that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, that must be a newer one.
That's the age gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You would like that one, I think.
I'll check it out. But yeah, the other unexpected favorite for me is Still Beating.
Heather, where were you? Heather, where were you when I was trying to figure out which one it was that I'd read? I'm pretty sure. Oh no, hang on. Anyway. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
I did like that one too, back when I read it.
All right. Okay, the next one was Fictional Place I'd Love to Visit.
Wait, did you say your unexpected favorite?
Yes, Weather Girl.
Oh, Weather Girl, right.
Yeah.
Great. Fictional place I'd love to visit. I feel like I need to choose like a fantasy romance or something like that. I don't know if this counts as a fictional place, but I would love to see I'd love to see Infinity perform, like from the Krista and Becca Ritchie. They have what do they call it? I forget what they call their Ariel Ethereal. It's almost like a Cirque du Soleil kind of thing, and I would love to, not necessarily a place, but I would love to see them perform. Because the way it's described sounds really cool.
I think I might have that book on my Kindle somewhere.
I love that one too.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Green Creek, but after everything is finished.
I know. That's the thing with like paranormal fantasy. You're like, there's dangerous things happening here.
Yeah. But, by the end of the series, everything calms down and, the town are like this one big, giant extended family. Like, I would be very happy to go there. Yeah, that would be fun. Actually, I was even thinking the planet that has I Married a Birdman and I Married a Minotaur.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun because they have different groups. And Valaris.
I know. Well, Valaris, I feel like it goes without saying. I didn't want to have another answer be a Sarah J. Maas. So I was trying to think of
You can have as many Sarah J. Maas answers as you like. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, JT just texted me and he wanted me to tell you. He said, tell Steph the author of The Last Dance is Martin L. Shoemaker, and apparently the second book is out, and I failed to realize. I don't know what he's talking about, but
that was the book he was talking. Actually, I have a feeling I might actually have The Last Dance. Now let me bring up my Kindle. JT and I were comparing sci-fi book notes before.
JT and Steph both read sci-fi books that I definitely do not read.
Okay. No, I don't have it, but I actually have heard of it. I remember the title. Me too, Heather. I do not have the survival instincts for most of the worlds that I read about.
I would just curl up in a fetal position and just be like, just take me. Like, I can't, I don't want to deal with this.
Okay. Small Town Megan. I've got a couple of Megan Quinn books to read, actually. So many things to read. So little time.
Yeah.
A little time. All right. Okay, number 7. An author you always recommend.
Chloe Leese. Brittany Jones. Brittany Cherry. Who else do I always talk about?
GJ Clune. Evie Mitchell, I'm recommending a lot now. It's like low angst, enjoyment, someone who's having fun with their writing.
Yes.
Actually, I do I do recommend Nalini Singh quite a lot, not necessarily for Psy Changeling, but even for her contemporaries. They're quite good.
Oh, Jack Harbin. I recommend his books in every single rec video that I do. Lauren Rowe is another one I always recommend.
So I haven't read Chloe Leese yet, but I'm planning on doing a weekend reading vlog. I know.
How can you? No, I have a friend and have not read Chloe Leese yet.
there yet. But no, I've got plans. Because I was doing rec videos, but what I think I'm trying to now do is on the weekend just try and either find a trope or an author I haven't tried before, and just try and read a couple of books in that. So I've got Chloe Lease is one that's going to be one of the next ones, and I've got Doctor Romances, because I kept getting weird recommendations for Doctor Romances. So I am.
Look, Tori's mad too.
Yeah. I know. I am mad at myself.
We take it as
mad at myself.
Offense.
I'm mad at myself. Yes, Heather, I will buddy read them with you. We can do that.
Wait, can I be in that group chat?
Yes, you can. Have a good day, Cole. Enjoy.
Oh my gosh, Mariana Zapata, you're right. Who am I? Of course, I always recommend.
Yeah.
See.
Heather recommended a lot. Yeah. Kristen Ashley, Jessica Gatzella, Christina C. Jones. Katie Robert, I have to be careful who I recommend Katie Robert to outside of the book community. But yes, absolutely. And Alona Andrews, that is very true. I do recommend Alona Andrews. Hey, Charles.
Charles, we were just talking about J. Mass a whole lot, so I'm glad you're here for that.
All right. Okay. What was number 8? Number 8. I'm so glad that I put these banners in last night, because this is very organized of me. Favorite book covers.
I feel like I wish I had my books in here. Oh, some of my favorites.
Oh, hang on. Do you know what we'll do? I'll open up a window and we can Google search them.
Oh, good idea. Oh, you know what? Because I let my mom borrow the book yesterday, which is why it's top of mind. It's A Taste of Her Own Medicine, that whole series by Tasha Harrison, her small town romance series. I am obsessed with those covers. They're just like the photography in it is beautiful.
Yeah. Hang on. What's it doing?
And my mom and I were talking about I love those covers. Oh my gosh, The Dragon's Bride, so true.
Yes.
That one's really good.
Okay. For some reason, I've lost the thing to share my screen. That is so annoying. What's it telling me to do? It's giving me all these instructions while I'm looking on the screen. I don't even know. Okay, we'll just have to get away with that cherry.
Lillian Lark has a good cover too.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the Dragon's Bride one.
Do you want me to go get them? I've got most of them.
Oh, do you have them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Christina C. Jones's her Sugar Valley series covers, I think they have the special edition covers, but I think the original covers are really pretty too. Yes.
Those are oils.
Stunning. I also like Tangled Wires. Tangled Wires has a fun cover too.
Yeah. I do like 3 parts as well. They're just good colors. But yeah, Tangled Wires. See, I have a lot of Lillian Lark because I went down that rabbit hole really hard. I actually it's not romance. I do like the Wayfarer books because I have all.
When you held that up earlier, I was like, "Whoa, beautiful!"
Yeah, they're all that sort of galaxy thing, which I'm just like, that's totally me. Mm-hmm. Actually, the new Wicked Villains covers from Katie Roberts' Kickstarter, mine came the other. They're beautiful. Mm-hmm. They are so nice. Really cool. All right, so Dragon's Bride. The Tasha Harrison books are great. Very catching.
Oh, messages.
What else we got? A Song for the Wild Bill by Becky
Charles spelled out laugh out loud instead of putting out. I'm just trying to think. I actually do like the Green Creek covers too, but I like dark and moody covers. Mm-hmm. So they're simple. They're simplistic. I like it.
Yeah, I like just simple, easy to figure out covers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, question 9: books that need new covers.
Oh man, so many. Oh my God. The Marked Men series by Jay Crownover have the worst covers. I feel like we need to show some of these. Hold on, let me see if I can share.
Yeah, if you can share, I'll pop it up on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why I lost permission to do it, but it was too hard to figure out while I was in the live stream.
I know, when you're trying to do two different things. Hold on, I just
need more than one screen.
Some of these.
Yeah.
Share screen. What do you mean? Why do you have to record? Share. Oh, apparently I have to change a preference in Google Chrome now, and that's why.
Yeah.
That's odd. That's why it's giving us all the instructions. The covers are awful because they have like these random models on it and they don't look anything like who they're described or like the heroes or anything. It's awful.
Okay.
There's way too many instructions.
I know. System preferences, clicking the lock in the bottom left. I don't have a lock in the bottom left.
What lock? Oh, wait.
I swear.
Did I do it? No, it's making me quit and reopen. Okay, so we're not going to be sharing the screen.
Sorry, guys. Hang on. I have an iPad here. Let's.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I have my phone literally right in front of me. 2. So look up Rule by Jay Crownover because it's kind of the worst. Oh, wait, here, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, no.
It's so bad.
No.
Like.
No.
What is happening?
Yeah. Although, yeah, I was going to say, because I saw The Lost City yesterday, and Channing Tatum plays a cover model for romance books.
Oh, no, was it bad?
And I was, but he's got the Fabio look going on, and that's what killed me, but he took his role so seriously. So
I mean.
So yeah, like when you're talking about cover models, now I'm going to go straight to all his scenes where he's like, he takes it so seriously.
I love that. Any book where the models characters,
See, the one that I don't have an issue with it because I actually really like the cover is Caressed by Ice in the Psy Changeling series. It has Judd on the cover and he looks exactly the way that he's supposed to, except he has the wrong eye color. And I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it does.
Well, like how hard could it be to change that? You know, like.
Well, no, I know why they did it because the whole theme, like the theme, it has a blue theme, so he has blue eyes, and he looks really hot, but he doesn't have that character doesn't have blue eyes, and I'm just like, it doesn't match. Anyway, enjoy dinner, Tori.
Love you, Tori.
Yeah, I have, and it was amazing. I laughed my way through however long that film was. It was great.
You know what? I'm not loving the new Helena Hunting covers because they just like, they look very basic. I think they're trying to appeal to like the grocery store kind of like.
Yeah.
JT is like, I wish I could turn my computer around because JT has, the girls got these like bubble guns for Easter and he's standing in front of the window shooting the window. Cannot with this man.
You know, you need to laugh. All right. Oh, most disappointing read of the year so far.
Oh. One that I actually finished, so not a DNF one.
Yeah.
Was I
have one, and I probably I didn't rate this one the lowest, but it was probably the one I was just most disappointed in. Like, is it being aggressively average? That's pretty much what I'm basing it on.
Wait, can you do a video of books that were aggressively average?
Aggressively average. I'll need to. Well, it's more that it didn't live up to sort of what I was expecting this one to do, and it was Invisible Quarantine Alien by Robin Lovett, because I've been loving that series so much, and I've loved all of the books, and I got to this one like, no, like it wasn't bad, but I'm like it's not giving me the fun ridiculousness vibes. I mean, it was still giving ridiculous vibes, but just not in the way that I wanted it to.
Right. There's a certain expectation.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, you know what? Recently, for me, it was Grayson's Vow by Mia Sheridan, because there are very few things by Mia Sheridan that I dislike. And I did not, I like aggressively did not like that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll agree with you on this one as well, Tracy. Ariadne was okay. Okay. I wanted more from it. And actually, that has a gorgeous cover.
It does.
And that's why I was disappointed.
It does have a really
like, in fact, both the US and the UK, like, I mean, I love the UK one slightly more, but they both editions are beautiful. And it was good, but it wasn't. Look, you've got Song of Achilles and you've got Circe, and I'm like, just didn't quite get there.
Oh, bad.
Which was a shame. All right. Oh, here's one that's going to be hard to pick one. Favorite read of the year so far? You can pick multiple.
Favorite.
So, disappointing read. Bittersweet Surrender. Very cool.
QB Tyler, man, I just can't, like, I just can't get on board with. I've read, I think, 2 or 3 books by QB Tyler, and like I almost like them, but then they're too much for me. Like, I can't. The heroes do things that I just can't get past, and then they don't grovel enough. And like the one where he has the memory issues, I don't know if you've read it, but he like gaslights her so bad in it, and I was like, no, like we cannot.
No,
I couldn't get past that.
So Sweet Home is a DNF. Stolen Ice Bride. That sucks when you want to find a new author. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Electric Idol was good. Electric Idol was better than Neon Gods.
Was it? I still have to read that one. Favorites. Let's see.
I really, really enjoyed Kink Camp Hunted by Adriana Anders. That was just fun.
What was it? What's that one about?
So it's a woman goes to, it's like a kink camp, and it's her first time there, and she's staring at this message board, and there's a notice on the board for basically primal play to be hunted in the woods one night, no names, no nothing. And she, can't get out of her head, and she ends up taking it, and then, lots of things happen. But it was really, really fun. It's super short. But it's really good. And the thing that I liked most about this, or that book in particular, was that Adriana Anders had put an author's note at the front, because she's been to kink camp, so she knows sort of the community vibe and the different types of people that you meet there. And it's such a good side cast of characters. Like you want a story for all of them. But yeah, but short and very steamy.
I didn't know that was a thing. Kink camp.
Yeah. Neither did I. But yes, Heather and I both read it and squealed about it.
Oh,
hi, Monica. Yeah, I've done a lot of rereads this year as well, so I had to sort of go through and find things that, because they're automatically favorite reads if I'm rereading them.
I mean, the Tasha L. Harrison series is definitely up there. Oh my gosh, For Real by Alexis Hall. I read that.
Yes, for the time was your first read.
So good.
Yeah. I really liked All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I read that.
Oh yeah, that was cute. That was a cute one.
Actually, do I have it here? I liked Mad Men by Onley James, because it just was like the author was having fun with the series. Like there was, when you just read a book and go, you know what, they're just enjoying themselves while they're writing this. It's totally ridiculous. But it sells a book sometimes, and I'm like, I really enjoyed that.
I feel like sometimes you can just really tell when an author loves the characters.
Yeah.
Like you can tell how much the author loved the characters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hands down was so good. And Real.
Yeah. And Real.
I think I read Real last year, maybe. That's the thing is like sometimes I can't remember when I read the book.
No, yeah, it was last year because you made her read it last year as well.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we can have lots of favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I always have way too many. All right. A series I need to finish.
So many. I need to do a video of all the series I need to finish. I notoriously
don't want to do that.
Jump back and forth between series.
I notoriously read the first book and then never go back to anything.
Yes, I do. Even if I really like it,
yes,
I still like will jump around.
Yeah. Well, I think I said earlier I need to finish the Wright Brothers series by Christina C. Jones because I think I've only got one more book to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you should read go right to the Love Sisters series because
I've got them
overlap a little bit, and it's fun if you know the characters and you see them in the background. It's kind of fun. And those are super short; they're easy to flow through. Yeah, no, I've got all of those out on KU because that's my goal in sort of the next month or so to get through all of those. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not about pressure to finish series. I actually don't feel pressure to finish series unless it's something that I'm deeply engrossed in, and then it's just because I want to read it, not because I have to. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I feel like I almost feel pressure not to because I feel like I need to read more of a variety of things for when I talk about it. Because if when you talk about a book, if you've just read a whole series, you can't like talk about a book in the middle of a series. It's hard to talk about it without spoiling. I almost feel pressure not to finish a series. Yeah. I think the other one I've got to go back and try and read a few more of the original Henchman series by Jessica Gaziella because I can't remember if I said this while we were in live or if it was just when we were chatting before. I've read so many books in the middle of that series, which is great because you can kind of jump in different parts and still pick up on it. It's great that you can do that, but also just need to not be so wishy-washy. Pick and choosy. Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't get into J.R. Ward. I tried. I read like the first 10-ish books and then I'm like, okay. Like when she started like repeating characters and having their own books again, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I need to finish that series, True North series. Yeah. Yeah. There's always so many. Mm-hmm. Oh, the Harris Brothers series. I'm working my way through that one by Amy Dawson. Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. An underrated favorite. Man. Oh, yeah, Lexi Seals. Here's the problem is I tend to like what everyone else likes. So I read things like a lot of people like it. Underrated. I think I went to this one more as I don't hear a lot of people talking about them as opposed to because I actually think these have really good ratings, but I don't hear lots of people talking about them. So something like 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Oh yeah, that was really good. That was so good. Yeah, I love that book. Yeah, so good. Weather Girl again, the one I talked about earlier. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but I think it's really good. Yeah, you're the only one who I've heard talk about it. But I haven't watched BookTube in a while. Like I've watched a couple of videos here and there, but I've been like in just a life slump lately. It's not just a reading slump, but all of my life has been a slump lately. So yes, actually you are very good at this, Heather, because you tend to have a lot more different recommendations, which is great. Yes. Because I get them all from you. She reads a lot of books. Yeah, I don't know. I keep talking about the same subject over and over again, but I think Christina C. Jones in general. I feel like there's a handful of us who are obsessed with Christina C. Jones and we read a lot of it, but I feel like more people need to. Just like all of her books. I think I've not given any of her books lower than I think I've given them all 5 stars. Yeah, this is interesting. I haven't heard of that. Me neither. I have my little note here. I'm making notes of all sorts of things. What else? All right.
Okay. So that's underrated favorite. All right. A popular book you haven't read.
So many.
So many.
Yeah.
Um,
what are some popular books?
Oh, I have not read The Love Hypothesis.
There's that one that has the really pretty cover. Crystal read it recently and she hated it. It's the age gap one. That's like, and I think the second book just came out. Ooh, what's it called? I forget what it's called. I feel like everyone's been posting it on Instagram. I keep seeing it. But after I saw what Crystal said about it, I was like, oh yeah, that's not for me. Hold on, let me look it up.
I'm so behind on Instagram. So behind.
Well, it's hard. I just like scrolling your regular feed is annoying lately because.
Yes.
Who posted it recently? I thought it was Sam. It's the one. It has like flowers on the cover. There's like no people on the cover. It's just. I guess it went viral on TikTok. Maybe. I feel like a lot of books that go viral on TikTok, I haven't really read.
Yeah. TikTok is not a great barometer for books all the time. Daisy Jones and the Six, Confidence of Wallflowers.
So that one. Do you know what it's called, Heather? Like that ending, and to not have that specifically in the triggers. Oh hell! Everything she said, I was like, that would piss me off too.
Yeah. I think I read two Cassandra Clare books, and that was it. See, my thing with Cassandra Clare is I used to read her fan fiction all the time when she was just a fan fiction writer, and I loved it. Could not stand anything that she published, which I find bizarre.
Gosh, I need to find what this is called. I'm gonna have to
Confidence of Wallflowers.
Yes, that's the one. That's the book.
Confidence of Wallflowers.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the one.
That's the one that I haven't read and probably will not, considering the trigger.
Yeah.
Haven't read
Bridgerton. Haven't read Bridgerton. Haven't read Gianna Darling. Haven't read The Love Hypothesis. Won't be reading The Love Hypothesis. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, I got it.
Perfect. Thank you. Because I would have no idea. Yes, you gotta preface things with if you can.
I know, especially big ones. Like
I don't know. All right. Latest book haul. Last few things that came in. Mine are still here because I literally haven't done anything with them. They literally got stacked behind me. 4 and 5 in the Necessary Evil series. I've got the other 3 coming, but these 2 happened to be the others. I think had to come internationally. These ones came from Australia.
I like those covers.
I wasn't going to get them, and then I'm like, no, you like these too much, and you want to annotate them, so you need to own them because I have no self-control. I think we have worked on that. Although that said, book 4 and 5 have been my favorite so far. So I'm hanging out for the.
JT got me Rule of Wolves for our anniversary because I have King of Scars, so he got me Rule of Wolves. I love that duet. I know some people didn't like it, but I freaking loved it because Nikolai is my favorite character in that series.
Yeah. Oh, Ashley ebooks. Yeah, I saw there was some on sale. What are you waiting for, Tracy? Do let us know. Underrated Samantha Whiskey, Carrying Cole. Yeah, it's so fun. I'm hanging out for the last. So there's 2. I think there's 2 more books. I'm hanging out for the last one because it's going to be so good. Ray Baron Redemptor. Oh, nice.
I love those covers.
What else have we got? Okay. Not that we're near our bookshelves. Favorite spot on your bookshelf?
I'm gonna say my romance section, like my contemporary romance section is my favorite, just because it has so many of like just my favorite books that I just look at and it makes me smile. And then a lot of those books are books that were like gifted to me, so then it makes me think of the person that got it for me, and I'm just like, it makes me
smile. Yeah, because I was going to say my romance section as well, because there's everything else and then romance.
Yeah.
Although that's it. I do my little nerdy heart. I do have my little Star Wars section too.
Yeah.
So both of those.
It's not the most aesthetically pleasing part of my library, but it has like the most meaning, I think, to me.
Yeah.
So that's why it's my fave.
Yeah. It's so nice though, because it's just lots of good memories.
Yes, it's like when you see a favorite book in the bookstore and you're just like, hi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, fantasy section, very nice.
Because covers are so gorgeous in fantasy.
They are. All right. 17, a book that changed your life.
Book that changed my life.
I think I've talked about this before. Like, I wasn't a huge reader in my early teens, but we moved states, and I was, I didn't know anyone, so I got stuck into the library at my school, and I picked up Jurassic Park and the Lost World by Michael Crichton. So not fantasy, but they really got me into reading and into sci-fi. So probably those, and that's probably the biggest one.
Yeah, like for me, I've been a reader my entire life, and I mostly read, like, when I was younger, I would read Babysitter's Little Sister, and then Babysitter's Club, and then Goosebumps, and Fear Street, and then the Christopher Pike books, and I kind of slowly read within my age. And then I was reading like YA up until I was in my early 20s. And then my very first adult romance book that I picked up was Jacob by Jacqueline Frank. And that changed everything, because I had never read a sex scene in a book before. And that was like super steamy. And then just the world building was amazing. And I had never felt so, like, had such a visceral reaction to a book. I was like, I can write about this in a book. I'm just like, it was just like blew my mind. And from that point on, it was just adult romance.
Yeah. Yeah, like because I read through probably read through primary school sort of at my age level, but then because I didn't get into YA when I was in high school, like I pretty much skipped straight into adult sort of sci-fi. Like Matthew Riley was another author who I picked up in Year 9 and became obsessed with, mostly because his books are action movies in book format. Not always the greatest now when you look back on and go, written 20 years ago. But, really good. Because what did I read? Because I did Babysitter's Club. I did Sweet Valley High. Actually, I probably did those before. I probably did those before high school.
Yeah, me too. I did too. Yeah, middle school-ish was when I read those.
Yeah. Animorphs was another
Animorphs
one.
was my favorite. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And there was like a tiny little romance in that one that's what I was obsessed with. Everworld. Did you read the Everworld series? That was
I didn't.
I read Everworld and Animorphs kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
And actually in high school, I was reading like YA novels in high school, but I remember, especially in 11th and 12th grade, I was reading a lot of like bestsellers. Like I read the whole like Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs series, Dan Brown, those series and stuff. I read all. But then like I started reading much more like just YA fantasy and YA like contemporary romance and stuff like that. But then, and I remember because Jacob, I had just bought it on a whim from Barnes and Noble one day. And I don't even know what made me pick it up. And it was sitting on my bookshelf for like years. And I just didn't have anything else to read. So I was like, oh, I forgot this was even on my shelf. And I read it and I was like,
whoa. Nice. No, it's all right. Oh, a reason to be thankful for books.
The Friend.
I like this one.
I think that's a big read.
Yeah, I think so. That's a huge thing. Yeah, no,
I mean, it's because I life. I don't know who I would be without it.
And also just the escapism, I think, as well.
And like just the butterflies. Like I feel I was one of those people before I married JT. We're getting personal here, but before I married JT, I was like my longest relationship was like 2 weeks because I was constantly chasing the butterflies. Like as soon as the butterflies were over, like then I was over the person and I'm like, okay, next, who else can I have a crush on? Because having a crush and the chase was always my favorite part. And the limerence, the beginning of the relationship, was always my favorite part. And then I feel like books, especially romance in particular, gives you those butterflies all over again. Yeah. So that's one of my favorite things.
Nice. Very nice. All right. A trope you love.
So many. I like the bait and switch trope, which I feel like I could never do a recommendation for that because it would 100% be a spoiler. So I'm thinking I'm going to say a popular one because it's popular, but like the Sarah J. Maas, A Court of Thorns and Roses, like it's a bait and switch hero. Like you think the hero is going to be someone, and then they completely switch it on you. Yeah. It's not even like a real love triangle. I mean, like at least for me, I genuinely had no idea that was coming. So I love books like that. Nice. And like I can't even ask for recommendations for that because knowing is like part of it's not knowing is part of the fun. Yeah.
Oh well, if I come across any, I'll go. Maybe you should try this one.
Recommend it, but don't say why.
Don't say why. I think you'd like this one. Yeah, so we've got Stolen from the Wedding, Friends to Lovers, Found Family. I like a morality chain. I do like a morality chain.
I like the hero who thinks or I guess it could be heroine too, but mostly hero who thinks that he can't fall in love and like doesn't understand. Like in Run Posey Run, when he does fall in love, he's like, "What is this feeling in my chest? Is it heartburn?"
Yeah,
so cute.
It is very hard to choose. Morality chain. I do like Grumpy Sunshine. I think you get some really good interactions.
Yeah. Especially if it's a grumpy hero with a heart who like does like slowly shows his like in
and I do like
by Brittany C. Cherry, he's like such a grump, but he like would grudgingly do things for her.
Yeah.
Like, but secretly because he's a sweetheart.
There you go. Yeah. Close or forced proximity. I read so many forced proximity books this weekend for the Dark Romance Readathon, and that so many of them were only one bed as well. It's like, gosh, it's all the same, but different.
I like arranged marriages, but in contemporary romances, if it's done well, like if they have a really creative way. That's why mafia romance is kind of fun for me right now, because you get the arranged marriages and it makes sense in a contemporary setting.
Yes. Yeah. All right. And then the opposite is a trope that you hate.
Here's the thing is I feel like there's always like, I'll say I don't like a trope, but then a book will prove me wrong. I think like the fame trope isn't my favorite. Secret Baby is not my favorite. Virginal heroine.
I think there are always exceptions to the rule, although I definitely avoid student teacher stuff just for obvious reasons.
Age gap is not my favorite in certain situations. Like if it's like high school age gap.
Yeah. And like, because I would have said, ages ago, age gap, like a really big age, like for real, like to me, had I heard that premise before I knew Alexis Hall, I would have been like, but really though.
Yeah.
But it's like it works. Yeah. It's done so well.
Because the dynamic, because it's a dom sub, but then the younger guy is the dom, so the dynamic. Yeah, it depends, because like there could be like grooming in it when it comes to age gap. Although I have like, there's what is it, Torn or Tied? One of those books by Carrie and Cole has that age gap, and it like he's known her since she was a kid, which normally I'm like, don't do that, but I was okay with it in that. Billionaire is another one that I don't usually like.
Yeah, actually, I'd almost go father's best friend unless I know and trust the author writing it. Because sometimes that can feel a little bit weird. Like Katie Robert will totally read it. There've been a couple of others as well, but Billionaire and Virgin. Not everyone has to like enemies to lovers.
I mean, I'm sure it is unpopular. A lot of people like it, but it's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there are some that are not done particularly well.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of been big.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think.
I
did just read one though.
Did you? Was it good?
It wasn't too bad. It was another Only James book. It was the first one in the Time Served series, but I actually preferred the second and third book, which were different characters. They're all age gaps, but yeah, like I didn't mind it, but it's not something I'll pick up specifically for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, it's virgin when they're super naive, and it's like, what is that in your pants? And I'm like, really?
It's like, really?
Exactly.
Really. Okay. All right. Oh, your last 5-star read.
Let's go to Goodreads. Oh, you know what? It's the second book in the series that I'm reading, the Brutal book. So that was my 5-star. So good.
My last new to me book was Madman by Only James, and if it was a reread, it was Brother Song by T.J. Klune. So yes, feel free to put your last 5-star read in the comments, although I am going to go to the next one just because I know we've got a few more questions to go. A book you wish you'd read sooner.
Oh, here's the thing. I feel like a lot of times it's timing for me. So if I loved it at the time, then it was a good time for me to read it too. Because sometimes I read a book and I feel like if I had read it at a different time and I was at a different point in my life or something, or a different point in my reading, I would have liked it more.
Yes.
So I can't even say, like, if I really liked a book, I don't know, I feel like I probably read it at the right time.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Heather's most recent 5-star was There Are No Sense. Moth. I really love that. Abel. I read, I don't know why it took me so long to read this, Make It Sweet by Kristen Callahan, because I love Kristen Callahan, and I hadn't read it, so I read that earlier in the year. And even How to Bang a Billionaire by Alexis Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd heard about it ages ago, but I'd never picked it up. And I did enjoy that.
Yeah, for me, it's For Real. Like, that's the one that I feel like had been recommended to me a few times, and I kept hearing about it, but I just didn't pick it up until you and I read it. Afraid to Fly. I like that title.
It is a good title. Oh my God. Just got another Wordle.
I was going to say it's a Wordle message.
So I was saying to Bree and JT before, my family are now sharing their Wordle results. That's all that comes into our family group chat message with my mum, my dad, and my sister and myself. We have other group chats, but this one is just purely Wordle. And over Easter weekend, we had a very in-depth conversation about starting words and whatnot.
JT and I use the same starting word every single time, just because we think.
Oh, so do I. I have the same starting word. My mum refuses to start with. She started a list of 5-letter words that she could start with. Anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, if I get a text message, it's probably one of them.
JT and I are very immature, so we always, our starting word is always penis.
I love it. That is,
we do it together. Like, we always do Wordle together. That's our nightly thing, but it's every single time. Without fail. It's done well. It's helped us. I mean, it's probably never going to be that. So clearly we're not doing it. I know the day that it is, you will all know. Like, you just text me and I'll be very joyful that day.
Yeah. There was something that I saw on TikTok. There was a girl who was clearly very competitive. So she'd come up with the best possible starting word based on, groups of letters and whatnot. And I had to share it with my mum and my dad are very, actually, no, the rest of my family is very competitive. I'm very much like, okay, if I get it, great, like, whatever. And I said, and even they're like, yeah, she's weird. Because I think her start, I think her starting word was thurl.
What was it?
Thurl, Thurl.
I didn't even know that was a word.
I didn't know that was a word either. Anyway.
I often make up words, and I'm like, this maybe is a word.
Well, I think we worked out, actually, my sister worked out that mechs, MECHS, was an accepted word. I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Right. It doesn't seem like.
I don't know how you'd use it in, like, it's
right.
Anyway. But, all those strategies and whatnot. Okay.
I like my strategy.
Yeah, I like your strategy too. All right. Comfort read and characters. Or characters.
So honestly, I think like Mariana Zapata books will always be comfort reads to me, and her characters too, because her books are so character driven. And I just feel like they're so comforting to me. And her writing is very, like, it's very specific to her. Like it feels like Mariana Zapata. So going into her books always feel very comforting.
Yeah. That's a good question. I think Caressed by Ice by Nalini Singh is one that I'll just pick up, and it's probably one of my most reread books now, just because I know what's going to happen, and it is a slow burn story, which is always nice. But I think Evie Mitchell has become a real comfort read author just because her books are so low conflict and low angst. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just need to know you're going into something and you're not going to be stressed out of your mind in the third act.
Exactly.
So I think she's one now that I really enjoy. So we've got The Blue Castle, Serena Bowen.
I like Serena Bowen too.
Yeah. Look, I think even Katie Robert at some point, just because I know that I'm going to get something completely bonkers and entertaining.
Well, the Regine Abel stories too. You kind of know what you're going into those.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, maybe someday also for me too. I mean, you would think like that one has, is pretty angsty, but it still is comfort.
Yeah. I mean, I could possibly say Green Creek, except I just bawl my eyes out, so I don't think that goes as a comfort read. I think that just goes as a cathartic read. Yeah. Like I genuinely don't cry when I'm reading, and I'm like,
same way. That's when when it actually makes me cry. That's when I know.
I know. Yeah, exactly. And I think so favorite characters.
Ooh. Let's go recent favorite characters. Oh my gosh. So Heather, who is a champ at recommending books to me, apparently. I read Ante Up by Christina C. Jones. The heroine in that one, I am obsessed with her because she's just a freaking badass, and she is so loyal to her family, and she's also an amazing poker player and just super smart and has the smart mouth. Oh my God, I am obsessed with her. She's one of my favorite female characters. I loved her so much. And I listened to the audiobook for that one, and whoever the female narrator is for her, she was amazing. The acting in it was so good. And especially the voices and stuff that she was doing for the heroes and stuff. So it was a duet narration.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But Jacoby Diem was the guy who read. I love him, but I almost wanted her to read the whole book. That's how good she was. Even though I love Jacoby Diem, she was just so good. And I think she was a big part of why I ended up loving that book so much too.
Nice. Now it's funny because I'm trying to listen to more audiobooks sort of in my own little way, because I have to read the book, have the book in front of me to do it. Mm-hmm. Charles got me onto Big Deck Energy, which is another dual narration, which is the first time I'd read that. Time I'd read Kim Lorraine and first dual narration. That was amazing. Mm-hmm. That was good fun. But I think favorite characters, Judd from Side Changeling, just because he pops up the whole way through the series, and there's this funny little thing that happens where, because he's the first Psy male character to find a partner, and as his friends start to sort of drop out of the Psynet, they start up a how-to guide for romance and feelings and how to woo your partner, and it starts with him and it gets passed down to everyone else. I'm like, It's my favorite thing in the series. Who Avi from Mad Men, because he's he's a psychopath, but he's actually this puppy dog of a character. Like, he's a total puppy dog. I don't know how you're making this work. Like, I'll do anything for you.
I love puppy dog.
Yeah, Kate Daniels is one of my favorite female heroines. She's awesome.
Oh my gosh, all of Alexis Hall's characters are all just amazing. I just want to be friends with them all.
Yeah, definitely. All right. A character that deserves a spin-off.
Ooh. Who do I want?
This is another Side Changeling reference. I want all the kids from the Side Changeling world, because there's a whole lot of kids who are kind of under 10 in the series that we sort of see over a couple of books. I want all of them to have books, particularly Ben, who is a little wolf shifter pup, and the baby bear gangsters from the Russian bear shifter gang, because they're all just, they're going to be trouble.
Is she planning on writing
this? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, too many favorites to name. Desperately want Barabbas and Christopher from the Kate Daniels books to have their own spin-off, but I think I'm just going to be relegated to them being side characters in all of the books.
Ooh, I know the sister from How to Bang a Billionaire. What was her name?
Oh yeah, I
can't
remember her name. She was good fun. Was there something recently? I can't remember. I'm glad that I write down the names of the characters or the couple in a series in my spreadsheet, because I would never remember any of these.
I need to do that, but I'm so bad at taking notes while I'm reading. Even after I'm reading, I'm just bad at reading in general. Like, oh my gosh, yes, a spinoff from the Puck series. Is there? I thought Little Lies was maybe I'm wrong. The spinoff from the Puck series about their kids.
Oh no, that's another series I need to continue.
Oh, the kids from Ice Planet Barbarians.
Yeah. That'd be cute.
I need to finish that series.
All right. I'm not even anywhere near finished that series. I need to catch up. Oh, favorite reading spot.
Where do I mean, I'm an audiobook reader, so I am always doing things while I'm reading. But if I'm sitting and reading, I have my little reading chair in my library, but the dogs have kind of taken it over, and now it's covered in dog fur, so I never sit in it because I don't want to have dog fur on me. Honestly, I just sitting in my bed. My bed's so comfy.
Yeah. There you go. Little Lies, Next Generation of Pact.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hang on, which way am I going? That's my reading spot on the couch.
My couch is kind of not comfortable at all, so I never sit on that.
Well, my couch currently has, it's got its throw cushions, but also so I upgraded all the pillows on my bed because the ones I had, I wasn't sleeping very well on them. But I haven't gotten rid of the old pillows yet, because some of them were too firm to sleep on and some were too soft. So I've got this weird mix of pillows. Anyway, I've shoved one of them on the couch. So it's literally like I can lay down and I don't feel like I'm falling off the back of the couch. So it's working well for me. But yeah, I've tried to stop reading in bed just because I have terrible sleep habits. So I try to, I might read outside if I can be bothered cleaning the spiders off the chairs on the balcony. I literally have to go out there with a whole can of spray before I'll even attempt to sit on it.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have a lot of ants outside. Although if I'm at the beach, I like reading at the beach.
All right. Now this is going to be an interesting one. Favorite book quote or favorite book 4 quotes?
Trisha Wolfe has some great quotes in her book. She has, her writing is just stunning. And then because she writes such a dark romance, the quotes in them are awesome. I'm going to try and find, I'm going to my Kindle notes and highlights.
I was going to try and find a romance one, but I think one book that I know just is full of quotes that I absolutely adore is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. And I realized later on that, this is where my obsession with stories being told by death came in, because the whole thing's narrated by death. But I was going through it last night looking for one. There was one specific one. I forget this. There was another quote that I was trying to find, but then I came across this one. When she came to write her story, she would wonder when the books and the words started to mean not just something, but everything.
Oh, I love that.
But the whole, as I was going through trying to find this quote, I was reading so many things going, no, this is why, it's a book, not a book that I've reread.
Mm-hmm.
But it, in terms of language and quotes, it's just full of amazing things.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's so funny you say that, Heather, because I had a highlighted quote from that book that I just looked at.
I highlight so many. Actually, that's why I'm preferring the switch to the Kindle, because I can find the quotes a lot easier.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Easier to save them. Power is what men like most for themselves and the least in their women. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. But yeah, I'm yes, I'm haunted by humans. That's the last line in The Book Thief.
Oh.
Yeah, it's if you want to read a book for quotes, it's the one to go to.
I started that book. I never finished it, but I remember highlighting so many quotes in that book.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my Trisha Wolfe. I have some highlights from a Christmas Dickens. Let's see what I have highlighted. Santa had become a ripped demigod.
Nice.
Oh God. Okay, some of these I can't read. Never mind.
Well, no, because actually, I'm really behind in my my book journal, because I put the quotes next to the book, a quote next to each book cover. Oh, hang on. I wonder. Yeah, but I haven't done April, because that would mean being organized. I wonder if see if there's anything else that's interesting. There was the line in For Real by Alexis Hall. Mm-hmm. You're not a loser, Toby. You're just lost, and it's okay to be lost. And it was just that last little bit. It's
yes. Stop. I love that. Yeah, that one has good quotes too. I'm determined to find. I feel like from the Madly Darkly duet by Trisha Wolfe, there's so many great quotes, especially if you like really dark romances.
Yeah. And there was one, some of them I just say because they make me laugh. I think Sink or Swim by Maz Maddox, which is a dinosaur shifter one, is, you're the most beautiful thing I've seen in 65 million years.
Ooh, this is such a great quote from, it's I like quotes that are simple, but they have an impact.
Yeah.
So this one is, I hate you, I whisper. And he replies, you hate everything but me. I'm like, oh, I love it. Because they're both such dark characters.
Yeah. Oh, I think there was one I read recently. Hang on. Anyway, I'll find it. Maybe come back to it. Mm-hmm. All right. So 28 is your favorite bookshop.
What is my favorite bookshop? There's not many bookstores around here. I mean, there's a decent Barnes and Noble near me, and I have a cute little paperback exchange, but they don't really have a lot of the type of books that I like. They have a lot of historical romances and stuff, but they don't have a lot of contemporary. I don't really have a lot around here.
I don't have a lot. I don't have any directly around me. If I'm going to go book shopping, it will be in the city. So we have a bookstore chain here called Dimmicks, and in the city they have a massive store, but you go downstairs. So you come in on the ground floor and you go under under, and it's it's really well lit and it's huge and it's got a big gift store section and things like that. They finally have at least a little bit of a romance section, but it's very popular romances. But they're getting there, so I'll take it.
There's a like over about an hour or so away from me in like the city in the city near me. There's this one called, I forget what it's called, but it's actually a restaurant like in a bookstore, and it's like, the whole vibe there.
Yeah. QBD is another good one. That's another chain's bookstore here. One of the other quotes that I found, this one was from Play Along by T.L. Swan, was, "Your friendship is a gift and you have loaned me that." And it was around paying back, someone for protecting her or something. I can't even remember who said it, but I'm like, no, that's actually a really nice thing to say. Like, you don't need payment. Your payment is your friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that. All right. 29, a character that reminds you of yourself. This one I got really stuck on, actually.
I feel like there was a character that reminded me of me, and then I was watching a lot of people talk about the book, and they're like, I hate this character. And I'm like, well,
rude. Rude.
What character?
How dare they?
I'm like, so here's the thing. Who was like? I can't remember what book that was.
Actually, I think there was one recently that really stuck with me, but I can't remember. It might have been All the Fields by Olivia Dade.
Oh, really? I loved her.
Maybe.
Do you think you would be super oblivious like that if someone was like, crush on you? You would.
only because I'm not one. I'm such a massive introvert, so I don't I don't join in things straight away with people until I get to know them, and I'm also very I don't read the situation. As part of me sometimes goes, you're probably somewhere on the spectrum, Steph. Just in terms of being able to read the cues, so I struggle to differentiate between friendship and obligation, friendship, and more than that. So part of me is like, that.
But so is it more like if those are directed toward you, like, would you be able to see it in?
Well, mostly because I'm like, don't pay attention. Why are you paying attention to me?
Direct it somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
But like if a guy was flirting with a girl or vice versa, or someone was flirting with another person, would you be able to tell that? Or but if it was happening to you, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yep. I
love that. And then I feel like sometimes everybody loves me. Like, oh, they're flirting with me, but they're just like, no, get over yourself. So there's the opposite.
Yeah, it must have been that book. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, because also she was so hardworking and so dedicated to her job. Like those things, plus being sort of oblivious to everything else going on around her, and also a big huge part of my life is my work. So,
and she's just very
so I think
and
so I think that
but
that resonated a little bit too much.
Reliable and loyal.
Yeah,
I love that about her.
Yeah, she was a great character, but I think it must have been that one, because I every now and then there'll be a character I'm going, oh yeah, that I do that. Yeah, that's like me. But it's not the full character. It's like, oh, that's right, that's me.
Yeah, certain pieces. There are characters who I wish I was like. I have to differentiate, oh, this is who I wish I was like, but am I actually?
Was. Yeah. It's like,
I remember reading, I was reading, did you read Caraval?
Yes.
So the second book, the sister that book was, I forget her name. Wasn't Scarlet? What was her name?
It was Scarlet and
it's the sister, and I forget her name. Oh my God, I can't remember. But I remember reading that book, and like every decision that she was making, I was like, yes, I would do that. Like, yes, yes, yes. So I don't know. Yeah. She was like me in a lot of ways, but I think it was one of the first books that I read where I agreed with every single, and she wasn't making great decisions, but I would have made the same decision even if it was not the right decision. But then I think that was the book that a lot of people were like, oh my God, I hated this character. And I'm like,
yeah. Oh no, I loved it. Tella.
Yes. She's the one that I related to the most.
Yeah. I actually like Legendary more.
Me too. I liked it more too.
But I like the romance between her and the love interest in the story. And also it felt darker.
It did. It was a lot.
So I like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that might need a reread. I haven't read that in ages.
No, I haven't read it in a while either. I need to reread it.
No, that was another series where I was trying to find, because I think trying to get, because they had all the different embossed images on the covers. So the UK editions had different embossed images on the covers. And I'm like, but I want all of them.
I want it all.
Like I don't have all of them.
I have the UK editions of hardcover UK editions of the last two books. I could not get Caraval. I don't have.
I do have
the edition of the paperback, but I don't have the UK edition.
No, I did manage to get the first edition hardbacks of the series.
So jealous.
I can't remember which.
So
yeah, I'll have to show you which one I got.
Well, there were like four.
That's one.
4 different versions.
There were 4 different versions, and I can't remember which one I had on the first one. But yeah, I'm like, that's good marketing. Such good marketing.
Because even us, like overseas, we wanted them too. So
yeah. Like, so it's hit and miss sometimes with the UK covers, but those ones were good. All right, last question. An author that you'd love to meet?
Oh my gosh, so many. I met Mariana Zapata and I fangirled really hard in front of her. Oh, that was so fun. She was so cute in person. She was with her mom, and it was funny because my sister and I met her, and we had gone with my mom to Shameless Book Con, and my mom, for some reason, like we went in together, and then my mom just like left my sister and I. Why are you leaving us? Like, we're like, are you embarrassed about what's going on? So we get up to Mariana Zapata, and she was like, we were like, oh, is this your mom or whatever? And she's like, yeah, it's my mom. I'm like, oh, and my sister's like, oh, that's so cute. Our mom left us as soon as we don't know what it's like to be hanging out with her mom. And she was just like laughing. But she's adorable. She's very sweet. Who else?
Yeah.
I'd love to meet Evie Mitchell in person.
Yeah, poor Evie Mitchell. She probably thinks I'm stalking her. Although we have agreed that if I'm in Sydney or if I'm Sydney or Canberra way or she's in Melbourne, we will possibly try and catch up, which would be really nice.
Oh my gosh,
she's awesome. I would love to sit down and chat with Alexis Hall.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that. Yes, because that interview that he did was so like
Bonkers Romance.
Yeah.
Bonkers Romance podcast. And even TJ Klune, actually, because it was interesting watching TJ Klune talk about those special edition covers, because I haven't really listened to any interviews with him. Like, no, he'd be fun to talk to too.
Yeah.
But yes, I would be totally awkward, because I actually have met and have conversations with a lot of young adult Australian authors, because that's a lot of the bookish events that I was attending. And like, I try not to be too awkward around them, but I'm just a naturally awkward person anyway, as mentioned earlier. So, yeah, but no, like they are lovelier, but I'm like, you seem so accomplished. You've published a book. I feel very unworthy to be in your presence. Even though it's not true.
They're like my rock stars. They're like where other people would fangirl over like rock stars and actors. If with an author, I'm like,
yeah. And I think there's that, like, I mean, you can have that really strong connection with any kind of media or things that are important to you. But I think books are like, particularly if you read multiple books by the same author and you've had this, really long connection with their words and their stories and things. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big thing.
Mm-hmm. And he has such characters and everything. And
yeah. I'd say Nalini singing, except I would not be able to get words out if I met her. I'd be like, sorry, I don't mean to be awkward.
Well, that's why I like going with my sister, because my sister is much better with like talking. I'll just stand there and be like, the whole time, but she'll actually have a conversation with them, and then I'll warm up a little bit.
Yeah. Look, my sister, if my sister reads, she tends to read nonfiction stuff, and she's not the biggest reader anyway. She just rolls her eyes at me, so I'm like, I can't take you anywhere. I can't take her anywhere. Oh gosh. All right. Lots of good authors to meet. I mean, and I like some of these questions. Actually, it would be interesting to do these questions again, like in 12 months.
Exactly. I feel like answers would be different
because I think they do change. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I found those questions last night on Instagram. One of my friends had posted that in her stories, and I'm like, I like these questions. It's a good conversation starter.
Exactly. We should also do one where it's like non-bookish questions. We should do 36 questions to fall in love with friends. Those questions are great questions. JT and I actually have been doing one of, like, we ask each other one question a night from the 36 questions. They just like make you, and it's like funny because they're, like you said, they're really great conversation starters. Like, it's not a one-word answer. I mean, it's like a whole, you really have to think about those. And I want to do those 36 questions with all my friends, because I feel like they're great, because it's such it's a combination of questions that make you learn almost everything about a person just by their answers. It's good.
Interesting.
And they're not super personal. It's things like, who would you, if you could have anyone in the world over for dinner, who would you have?
Yeah.
And by who they choose, I mean, it says a lot about the person.
Yeah. So. Look, to be honest, it would be most of you guys overseas, because I don't actually get to see and chat with you in person.
It's so true. If we could have one big dinner party.
I know, it would be so nice. One day. So, for me, it's just psyching myself up for plane flights. Like, I can do it. I know I have done it in the past, but
I can't even say anything because I'm a big chicken and I don't do plane rides. So
yeah, fair enough. Look, here's the thing. I wouldn't wish the international flight from Australia to the US on anyone.
How many hours is it?
I think it depends into where you fly in. I think it's somewhere between, what would it be? It's probably like collectively flying. Like, usually when I've done my trips to the States, I've flown into LA and then had a connecting flight to New York and started on the East Coast and worked our way back, because you fly out from the West Coast. Right. So like with connecting flights, it's probably 15, 16 hours from Melbourne to... last time, like I've flown into Toronto when my best friend was back living in Toronto, and that one was another shockingly long flight. And then when I flew out, I flew from Toronto to, they've got another big international hub now. Is it in Houston? Maybe. Probably. Anyway, there's another, like, I didn't have to go to LAX. I flew in somewhere else and then flew from there to Sydney. And then from Sydney to Melbourne, and I caved in the end and upgraded my flights. I used all my points and upgraded from my flight from Sydney to Melbourne to business class, because I couldn't.
I think the only way I could fly for that long is, have you seen Crazy Rich Asians?
No, but I know a little bit about it, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a scene, like, they show them flying internationally, but they have like their own, it almost looks like their own little apartment or whatever. That's the only way you could get me to fly, is if I was
I'll have to save a ton of money, because at least part of that flight is going to have to be upgraded some way just for me to deal.
Yeah.
But no, what was I going to say? No, I've lost it.
It's gone.
But like, I actually, no, I know what I was going to say. I do better with, despite the fact that I'm stuck in a tin can in the air, which is the only thing that gets me in the flight, is just being, uncomfortable for that period of time. But I mean, it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not terrible. Was that, oh God, can't I get my words out?
I do the same thing. I forget You're talking.
No. I actually struggle more with domestic flights here in Australia because if I fly to Sydney, I get really bad, blocked ears because when we don't equalize for long enough in the air. So I have to be in the air for at least an hour or two before the air pressure doesn't give me lingering effects. Like the last time I flew to Sydney was, years and years ago. I was going to see my sister, and I was seriously uncomfortable for 2 days after that flight. And it was only an hour. Like I was only in the air for about 70 minutes. But international flights, I don't have the same problem because you ascend and descend slower.
Mm-hmm. So what happens?
But that's all. It's a weird
feel like full or like
well, I almost can't hear. I feel they're blocked.
Oh, that would be
it can get real. It can get it can be painful. Like it's never been super bad. And then like when I flew back from Sydney that time, I was like, everyone's like, dose up on antihistamines, do this, da da da. It wasn't too bad coming back, but it wasn't. And I don't know whether it was because I might have been unwell or something like that, but it was not the most fun experience in my life. But I've never had that issue with international flights because your cruising height is stable for longer, but it's when you go up and down, if you ascend and descend quickly, the cabin pressure changes and sometimes your ears don't adjust quickly.
I didn't even know. I think I've flown like twice in my life. So
yeah,
I don't know anything about these things.
No, I did. No, I've done a lot of flights. Like internationally, I've only been to I've been to the States twice and to Canada, and I've done Indonesia, or we did Bali, I should say, when I was a kid. Otherwise, I've only really been up and down the east coast of Australia. But internally in the States, we flew multiple times because we went LA we went to New York. I think we trained to DC and then flew to Chicago and then flew back to the West Coast. So I've done some internal flights.
How long were you here in the US?
First time I was there mostly, it's usually about 4 weeks, 3.5, 4 weeks. So the first time was probably when I was 20. And so it's 15 years ago now. And I went with my sister and one of our friends, and we did a little bit of touring on the East Coast by ourselves. And then we did a tour around the West Coast. So we did LA, Grand Canyon, all that stuff, up, back and around, and then flew out. And then I went again a few years later with another friend who hadn't been. So we sort of did similar things. So I haven't seen as much as I would like. I'll get there one day.
Yeah. Florida is a great place to visit. I'm just saying.
It'll be the first place I come next time. We'll make everyone come to us. We'll hang out, and everyone else can come and see us.
Everyone come to Florida because Bree doesn't travel. Or somewhere I can.
And Steph will have spent too much time on planes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is the goal, but it'll probably still be a little while.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with all the travel things now at the minute. It's just too much for my brain.
Yep. I don't blame you.
All right. Well, it's been an hour and 45 minutes.
Has it really? It has not felt like it.
Okay. And I am aware that it's evening for you. So I know, do we want to wrap this up in a little while?
Yep. It's about to be girls' bedtime anyway, so we'll have to do our whole thing.
Sure. I was looking at your nails before. Hold them up again.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Like this color. It's
beautiful color.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my nails right now because they're my actual nails.
Yeah, we're not looking too closely at mine because mine are in a very sorry state.
The gel helps like protect my nails, otherwise I'd be breaking them.
Yeah.
Yes, Airbnb in Florida, Bookish weekend retreat. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's nice because I don't have. It still looks like it's nighttime here. I think it's still raining. But no, it's nice because I don't have any. I've only got one thing on this afternoon. I've got to go to the physio for my ankle. But
oh yeah, how's your ankle?
Oh yeah, good. A little bit sore still, but thankfully, you know, I'm walking around on it, so it's all good. And then the rest of the day is my own.
Paige is in Florida too. Paige, you gotta let me know if you're going to go to Shameless BookCon because we may have to go together. I feel like we're probably the only ones going. It's the Shameless BookCon is in Orlando. It's only 2 hours away from me, but I think Paige said it's 4 hours away from where she is. But it's the last time we're doing it, and it's like the only like romance book convention that they have near me. So it's very sad. I feel like I have to go.
Well, if you go, just let me live vicariously through you.
You'll have to give me your number. I'll FaceTime you. Enjoy.
No, it's. I saw something that, like, we have the Romance Writers Association of Australia here, and they do a lot of events, but a lot of them are just for the writers. And I'm like, but I want to go and see people.
I pretend that I'm a writer.
So, like, I can't pretend that because writing is not my forte at all. Oh gosh, but yeah, no, I want to have some of those cons, but there was one great year. I know we're starting to wrap up. There was one great year. We have the Melbourne Writers Festival every year, because technically, you know, Melbourne or Victoria is the city of literature. Apparently, sounds very highbrow. So they have the Melbourne Writers Festival, and a few years back, the director of the festival was a romance reader. And so they actually had, like, it's not big like the book cons because they usually just do talks and some signings and things like that. And they actually had panels talking about romance. So writers who loved reading romance, talking about romance books, romance writers talking about it. And it was like they did this, it might have been 2 days of the festival over a weekend. We haven't had that since. I'm like, come on, bring it back.
I know.
Because it was really good fun. Like it was really good fun.
Well, one year they had a Polycon in Orlando, and I was like, man, I wish then they like have had it in DC like every year since, but I was hoping that it would come back to Orlando at some point.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to go, Paige. I think I need to just do it. I haven't I keep looking at the tickets. I'm like, should I get one? But I think I can
do it. Yeah.
Just need to, since it's the last one. Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, we shall wrap this up so that people can head on with their days or their evenings. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes.
And answering the questions with us. It was fun.
It was very fun. Do this again sometime.
I feel we talked about a lot of different books, so that's always good. It's great. Well, enjoy the rest of your days, no matter how long that is for you. And we will do this. We will do this again in some form. Maybe next holidays. We'll start doing some of the questions. All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. I was excited too, Heather.